The NAACP decided to sit down in Jeff Sessions' Alabama office in protest of his nomination to be Attorney General. This is one of those nominations, one of those picks from Donald Trump, where the Dems have to block it. If Democrats don't block Jeff Sessions, oh man, Trump's time in office is going to be legendary and historically bad. Because this guy is basically as extreme as it gets. So, Jeff Sessions called the ACLU and the NAACP, quote, un-American, and here's my favorite, communist. What? What is that? I never got that. Like, these people on the right who, if they disagreed with people politically, they like call them communists. That's such a specific thing. And like, none of the people who they would accuse of being communists say, I am a communist. So why even bother? Why bother to go down that road with your smears? And of course, the hilarious thing is to call the ACLU un-American. Nothing could be further from the truth. They are the American Civil Liberties Union. The whole thing about the United States is supposed to be, hey, our Constitution lays out your rights, lays out civil liberties. And these are things that can't be taken away under any circumstance. So to have an organization, to have a group that says, oh, we're going to look out for your civil liberties, and that's our whole purpose. And they're smeared as like some sort of liberal organization. They're not a liberal organization. All they do is fight for civil liberties. So, for example, they've even defended the KKK and their free speech rights when the KKK wanted to do a march in a predominantly Jewish town. So, again, what part of that is, hey, that's down the line liberal? No, they actually sided with conservatives in that case to stand up for a liberal principle of freedom of speech and freedom of expression and right to protest. So, he's just an idiot, Jeff Sessions is. So I 100% support these NAACP protesters in doing what they're doing. This is a really brave move on their part. And by the way, right before I came on air, what did we learn? They got arrested. So he did a sit-in in Jeff Sessions' Alabama office, and they ended up getting arrested because they stayed there for a really long time. Because I was reading these tweets like midday yesterday, and then it was this morning that I learned they got arrested. So they must have been there for hours and hours and hours. But that's good. Raise awareness. Now more people should go do a sit-in in Jeff Sessions' Alabama office. 100%. Now, again, some people who don't know Jeff Sessions might be saying, well, why? He's literally one of the most conservative senators. He's just so right-wing. He was rejected for a federal judge position beforehand by Republicans in like the 80s or the 90s because they said, ooh, this guy's a little too extreme. When other Republicans are like, dude, pump your brakes. You know this guy's out there. He now infamously said, good people don't smoke marijuana. He's like, yeah, no, marijuana, of course it should be illegal. Of course you should be locked up if you smoke it. Good people don't smoke marijuana. He's just one of these like really close-minded, old-school right-wing pricks. He's named after Jefferson Davis, which shows you where his parents were at mentally. Yeah, oh yeah, let's name our son after Jefferson Davis. I'm sure he was raised in a very tolerant and open-minded household that loves diversity and is kind to people who aren't like him. And then here's my favorite fact about him because of how outlandish it is, and it exposes the kind of person he is. He ripped a white civil rights attorney for being a, quote, traitor to his race. So if a white person fights for civil rights for black people, you're a, quote, traitor to your race. This is the person Trump wants for attorney general. You think this person is going to take cases seriously if they happen to be minorities involved? Of course not. You think this guy, what do you think this guy's going to do on the medical marijuana front and the recreational marijuana front? We now have a bunch of countries that have legalized recreational weed. You do know weed is still illegal under federal law. And you do know federal law overrides state law. That's the supremacy clause of the Constitution. So if Jeff Sessions somehow becomes Attorney General and Trump says, whatever, dude, you do what you want, this dude can shut down all recreational marijuana everywhere. Everybody takes it for granted. Oh, yeah, we have it, and we have it in, Washington and Colorado and now California. So there was a time when alcohol was legal, and then they did prohibition. Now, later on, we won that fight back, and we ended up getting it back, but it would have been nice if we never had prohibition. So you could have the same thing here, where you have these few states that have legalized recreational marijuana. Jeff Sessions, if he gets Attorney General, he could shut it down like that. So these things matter, man. You have to fight guys like Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions, make no mistake about it, is the enemy. He is the enemy. So the answer is fucking no. I would do anything and everything to obstruct him within the bounds of reason. I'd filibuster, I'd do the sit-in. There's no way I'd let Jeff Sessions be Attorney General. So Democrats, get your act together. Credit to the NAACP here for doing this. But the Democrats need to get their shit together, and they need to make crystal clear there's no way we're going to let Jeff Sessions get this position.